overboard with this powder today, just to prove a point. So just basically powder your whole face if you feel like it.
Okay guys, so as you can see, I'm with my beautiful face as always. I woke up like this, like seriously, I woke up like this. This is my wake up face. So the first step I always like to do is prime my face. You can either do it with moisturizer or anything else. It depends on the season, but currently I have a quite oily face. I don't know if you can see it. It feels dry because I just showered, but it's actually a little bit oily, and it tends to get oily throughout the day. So I don't use moisturizer, but I do prime my face with my MAC Prep and Prime. Pump. I put 2 pumps. Okay, just to clarify, I live at a place in the center of the city that I live, like in the middle of the actual center. And there is a brick road right outside my road, so if you hear a car, it's likely that you'll actually hear the car.
Actually, you know what I'm talking about?
I did a video for my other ASMR channel, my other channel, which is the ASMR channel, and it was annoying. So I'm being very gentle when I'm rubbing the Prep and Prime in, because you don't want to pull your skin, because if you pull your skin, you're gonna look older, faster, and I'm already 25, or soon, 2 weeks, I'm 25. And I don't want this skin to look any older than it already does. I want to make sure that I'm getting in all the creases, so like especially around your nose and right under your eyes, but don't pull, just lightly put it on there. And also eyes if you feel like it. Put it in your eyebrows, because currently I have no products on, they just naturally look this good. And rub it in. I have all my 4 windows open fully because it's steaming hot in this apartment. The problem with living in the center and having a tiny apartment, it gets steaming hot really quickly. And so if my neighbors walk by, I might just quiet down a little bit so they don't see or hear anything. Good, now I prime my face. Now, the order that I do this in varies very much depending on the eyeshadow product that I'm using, because if I'm using my cheaper end products like Makeup Revolution London or my sleek palettes, they tend to have a lot of fallout, so I like to do my face part in the end. However, with these 4 series episodes that I'm gonna make for you guys here, is with the Kat Von D Shade and Light, Shade Up and Light, it's called Shade and, plus and, right? Quad, it contains 4 colors. This actually doesn't shed that much, so I'm gonna do my face first and then do eyes. I can hear people everywhere. Normally this summer I've been using the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 105, so 105, but currently I have become a little bit paler. I am a very pale person, so I'm using the shade 110, and it sounds weird, but because normally they say 5, 10, 15, 20, but in this case the 5 is actually darker than the 10. So I don't know why they did it, but they did it like that. I just cleaned my foundation brush, so I'm hoping it's not too wet or soapy. It's very soap. I just used my regular antibacterial hand soap. I'm pumping it on my hand. I'm pumping about 2.5 pumps because I like to put more on there instead of putting less. And I'm gonna take my Eva 1-2 Silk Finish. It's gonna give me a silk finish. And the technique that I'm using is actually a technique that I got from Naked Tutorial's Snapchat video. If you don't follow her on Snapchat, do it! I will link it below if you want to. I don't know if I'm allowed. But is that she dabs it on first, and she dabs it all around her face. And you know this is all about technique, this video, so I'm gonna show you my technique. And she dabs it all around her face, and then when she's done dabbing, she actually rubs it around a little bit. I dabbed a little too little, but who cares? She actually rubs it around, and then when she's done with that, she dabs it on again, so she gets like a dab, rub, dab. And I figured out that it actually makes my foundation stick really nicely when I do it. So that's the technique she uses, and that's the technique I've been using lately, and I love it. It smells like poo, or maybe the poo comes from outside. So yeah, I'm just gonna do my foundation finished and fast forward. And that was foundation, and as you can see, it didn't cover up everything on my face because the Maybelline Fit Me is a very light foundation, and I like going very light with my foundations because I don't like the whole full coverage, because that tends to get cakey, and I have to work from about 7 till 6, like around the clock, and I don't want cakey makeup touching my face. Now we're going over to concealer, and I'm using my trusty Pro Longwear concealer. I have also been using the Naked Skin from Urban Decay. However, I'm not as happy as I think people are overrating this, but I like the doe foot applicator though. They could do that in the Pro Longwear as well. But I put on my finger again, and I use this both for under eye areas, but I also use it as a base for my eyeshadow because I really like it. And I remember when I followed Jaclyn Hill before she was like mega famous on YouTube, she always recommended the MAC Pro Longwear. I still think in some of her videos, I don't watch them all, but in many of her videos she actually still recommends the Pro Longwear when she talks about concealer or base prime thing for face. And I like products with a dual purpose because that saves you a ton of money. Unless you buy MAC products, then you don't save shit. Ooh, this looks fancy. So I'm just applying it a little bit, and I'm gonna smooth it out with my beauty blender. And I cleaned this as well, so I'm hoping it's dry enough. I'm gonna use a mirror. I'm dabbing this on. If you want to know technique again, I'm dabbing it on, and only dabbing because you don't want to rub. That's when it starts to get streaky and it starts to get cakey, and you don't want to do that. So dab a dab a dab, and dab upwards because this adds a natural highlight before you even add the highlight. Before I move on to the next step, I'm going to show you that I also conceal the middle parts of my face. I have a very round, wide face, so I like to conceal the middle part of my face. And I know a lot of people on YouTube that even have tiny faces. They do it anyways, but I'm like, isn't the whole purpose to make people with wide faces look smaller? But apparently even smaller faces or narrow faces people, they do it. So yeah, that's why I do it. So I do the middle parts as well, which is the tip of my nose, in a triangular here up on my T-zone area, down a little bit over my lips. Oh, I just drooled all the way. And then in the bottom here as well. I am very red here because I tend to get breakouts around my mouth. I don't know if I'm like lying and sleeping like this, which means all the bacteria is just flushing through my mouth area. And I just remembered my other sponge that I'm using to cover this thing up is in the other room, so I'm just gonna quickly grab that. What I was grabbing was this little beauty blender sponge because I like to do it when I have to set my concealer, and I'm using the NYX HD finishing powder. I'm doing a haul soon because last weekend I was in Copenhagen, the capital city of Denmark, where I live, but I don't live in Copenhagen, but I live in Denmark. And I bought a bunch of makeup, and I'm gonna do a haul about it so you can see what I bought. And I've also been testing it out so you can see my review of it. What I do is I simply rub it in. I just rub it really good, really nice in there, and then I dab it underneath my eye. Again, don't rub because you don't want to rub your concealer in. And then I'm gonna do it underneath this line. When you suck in your cheeks, you get that line. I'm gonna do it right underneath it to get a beautiful contour before we even contour. And if you have a little extra meat on your bones like I do, and you might have to suck in your cheeks a little bit more. And then of course okay, I might have gone a little overboard with this powder today, just to prove a point. So just basically powder your whole face if you feel like it. I put way too much, but it doesn't matter because while this is setting, which takes about 10 minutes, we're gonna do, I'm sorry, it looks ridiculous right now. We're gonna do eyes. We can also finish the face, but I like to do that right after I rub all this shit off again. The first thing I do with eyes is brows, and we're gonna use the NYX brow pencil. Now this, I've heard from people, I've never tried the Anastasia one, but I've heard it reminds them of the Anastasia brow pencil. And I think L'Oreal has come out with a new brow pencil that's kind of similar, or is it Max Factor? I'm not sure. I should have checked it before this video, but we can't always be prepared. I bought this last weekend as well. It's gonna be my haul. I'm pretty much doing the haul in this video because I'm using a lot of the products already. And what I like to do is that I like to brush my brows, and I like to brush all the powder that I just applied to the front brow off. And I like to comb them in sort of an upwards here, and then down like upwards and out, just very simple technique. I do have very natural full brows. If you're thinking I already drew them on, I did not. I have very natural brows and people are sometimes a little bit jelly of my brow, but I'm not going Kara on you here. I'm using the brow pencil, which is a tiny little bit tiny. Oh no, this is going great. Which, as you can see, is a little tiny pencil. Previously I did just use an eyeshadow because eyeshadow worked really perfect, but I thought I would try a brow pencil, and I think this gives me a little more natural look than when I'm using an eyeshadow, because eyeshadow just covers the entire brow. This pretty much just covers the areas that you draw, if you get my drift. What I do is I always start in the top and sort of make a line that I can follow. As you can see, oh no, too much. And I will just point out that even the best makeup artist out there makes mistakes. So I've seen, if you don't, again, like I've said this already in this video, but if you don't follow Nikki's tutorials on Snapchat, do it. Because it's so invigorating seeing, first of all, how much work she puts in her videos. And she even snaps that, oh shit, I did it, I'm sorry, I cursed, but she did it wrong and she had to remove her makeup and do the tutorial again. Like, she isn't I'm gonna do it and then it's perfect the first time. She sometimes has to do her videos over and over again just to get it perfect. So she is committed. If you are a person that has bought the Nikki Tutorials eyeshadow palette from Too Faced, her Too Faced collaboration eyeshadow palette, please give a review, or not a review, but give a little did you like it or not in the bottom, because I have been considering finding a place where I could buy it in Denmark. Okay, so quickly go through what I do. I like to draw a line in the bottom and I like to draw a line on the top. And then I like to comb it out a little bit. So I comb it in the middle, don't push or anything, just comb it very lightly, and in the top part I comb it down. Again, don't push, just do it very naturally. I overpluck my eyebrows, and apparently you can still do that even though you're not 15 anymore. So I plucked my eyebrows today and I overplucked them. Thank you very much, tweezer. At points in your life, you just have to go, when you're going like this, you just have to say, don't take the tweezer away from your face and stop plucking them. Okay, concentration on point. I'm quickly gonna do the other brow. My eyebrows are done, and I remembered I forgot to tell you what color I was using. I'm using the ash brown. I thought it was very neat, and I like very bold brows. So, ooh, little animal. I use very bold brows, so I use very bold dark color, and this I think is like one of the darkest, not the darkest because they have one that's pretty much just black, but this is definitely one of the darkest that they have. I am moving on to eyes. However, I know I say full face in the title, but I am filming this with my Kat Von D eyeshadow quad, and I'm filming a 4-step video, so to speak. I'm filming 4 different videos to show you 4 different looks that you can do with this palette, and the look that I'm doing today is going to be video number 4 because we're gradually getting darker with each video. So the look that I'm doing today I'm going to upload later on the eyes, so I'm really sorry, but I'm trying to keep those videos as close to each other as possible. So I'm probably gonna edit this, save it, film the other 4 videos, and then upload it at sort of the same time, so you can go watch the eyes right after this if you feel like it. Okay, my eyes are done, and as you can see I also applied eyeliner. That was actually not my intention, but what I really like if you go really dark and really bold with your eyes is to also add eyeliner, because otherwise it's just gonna look weird. And like I said, I'm using my Kat Von D on my eyes, and I'm gonna do a video so you can click on something in the bottom or on the top. I don't know where I'm gonna place it, so you can see the tutorial for this eye as well, so you don't go without that in case you're wondering how I did it. And I could definitely, it's the palette in Plum, as you can see in the back, and I can just really recommend this palette because it's been my go-to palette for the past week. I've had it for a week, bought it exactly a week ago, and it's really been my go-to palette, and I love it so much. And it has all the colors you need. It has, I'm gonna do a review on it later on, so don't, ooh, I got France. And my eyeliner is the NYX Vinyl Liquid Liner. We just got NYX to Denmark Yay! And I really want the matte liquid liner, but it's sold out every single time. I've been visiting the store where they sell NYX now since we got it, and it's been about a month, or it's been about 2 months, and I literally just been sold out each time I've gone, so that's just a bummer. And I'm just really hoping that one day I'm just gonna find it and it's gonna be there. Now we're going... Is it thunder or someone driving? But now we're going to the favorite part. No, it's someone driving. The favorite part of my face is bronzer. I love contouring and I love bronzer. However, what I don't love, that's the city life for you. What I don't love is the very bold cream contour people are doing. I don't, that's not my jam. I do powder. Powder for me is easy to work with, and there's no creasing in your foundation, the foundation of your foundation. So what I'm doing, what I'm doing is the I can't speak no more. It's medium cocoa. Oh, I just dabbed my finger in there. And I'm dabbing my Real Techniques Expert face brush. I think this is I used it for foundation before, but this is a perfect brush for blending and contouring. Again, chuck on your face. I'm just gonna use a mirror for that. And then take it from the line here and just apply it in there like a master. And as you can see, voila. But what you have to be careful with is you don't want the majority of the product to be down here. So what I like to do is I like to blend it up, and when I'm down here I blend it in towards my ear, because that way I don't get all that bronzer on this side. And I also don't mind blending it in with my H definition, because it helps blend it in really neatly like that. Voila, contour on that. And the same thing I'm doing down here, just lightly applying it with my jawline, not under, but actually on my actual here, like on my actual line. And then I'm blending it down onto my neck.
With my eyes, yes. Cause as Katy Perry says, that's the way we do. That's the way we do it.
And the last place I like to apply bronzer on my face is, of course, my temple area. But be careful, because you can really quickly look muddy when you do that. And I like to blend it up into my hair. So, but this, like the lighting in the middle part and the darkening on the outer parts, is gonna help shape your face and make it look smaller. So those are the 3 areas that I like to contour. I don't contour my nose. I think my nose is perfectly fine as it is. It's a little stubby, it's a little bird-like looking, but I like my bird-like looking nose. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side of my face. Good, and that's the bronzing done. And now time to the reveal. We're gonna lightly brush off all the excess powder from the HD one, because we got lots on there. We're gonna lightly powder it off. You don't need to use force when you're powdering, taking the powder off. You can just lightly rub it down. Now we're going to use a blush, and I'm using my H&M Deep Brown blush. It looks like this, and it goes to prove that this one you can also use from H&M, called Fine China, are amazing products. Like, H&M has some good products and has some bad products, but honestly, which company doesn't? I'm using this to blush my cheekbones, not my cheekbones, but my apples, and lightly go over the bronze part as well to add some redness, but not too much, because my face gets naturally red. And I'm just gonna lightly, like this, you can see I'm barely touching my face. I'm just lightly putting it on there, just to give my face some natural color, because we know all this face is natural. And I have 2 go-to highlighters lately, and it's my MAC Soft and Gentle. This is old packaging, this is new packaging, but I have soon to reach pan on this MAC one. As you can see, I have reached it, but it's still, like, there's still something on there. I still have a lot of product out here, so I'm gonna use the fullest out of this. But I decided when I was in Copenhagen, because there's like, it's far away. I have to drive 3 hours to get to a Mac store, and I ain't doing that for a Mac, not even for Mac. But I bought a new one, as you can see, perfectly untouched and new. And with the new packaging, because I bought this 3 years ago, and it's not even reached pen, and I used it every day. But while I was at it, while I was at Mac, and while I had a little money on me, I bought a new highlighter as well called Lightscapade. I'm really bad at pronouncing this highlighter, and it's so pretty. Look at the texture of it. Oh, it's so pretty. And it's very, very light. It's almost that light that you think. This is perfect for winter because you need very, very fair skin to use this. So the Soft and Gentle has a pinkish tone. I've always loved this highlighter. It's my go-to. I literally don't have any other highlighter than what's in my Too Faced Cocoa Contour palette, and it's a scandal if you call that a highlighter, because people who have this palette must know that this highlighter sucks. The highlighter in this palette is like the worst, but the bronzer parts and the light parts are really good. So I'm using my, can you call this a tapered brush? From Nilens Jord Professional Rouge. So this is actually, I think, a blush brush, because rouge is normally blush, right? So I dab it on there, and then I go a little bit wiping. Look at that highlight though, look at it. So dab it on there, dag it under the body, boo. Dab it on. Why does everything smell like poo? I think it's from outside. Because my window's right there, so the poo is like pooing in my face. And is this too much? Too much highlight? And then on the tip of my nose, again, just lightly touching my nose, because you don't want it to go all on your nose. You just want it on the tip of your nose. And then on the top of your lip, your cupid's bow. And then I like to use, not dabbing new, just use the rest and just go over the temple, just a little bit. Just a little bit, but not too much. If you have oily skin, don't do it too much, okay? So that is pretty much it. So let me get this off, because I have like what I call 6-day hair. It's not washing your hair for 6 days and it still looks madness. And voila, you can actually look a little bit good not washing your hair for 6 days, if you know what I mean. Keeping it in with a clip and keeping it real. Okay, so that's my full face. I hope you enjoyed. Not completely full face, because I don't have anything on my lips. If you haven't noticed, they're totally blending in with my entire face. And if you haven't noticed as well, I'm very light, fair-skinned, and I like to go for that look. Do like this, and just have 2 dots on my upper lip. Bunch of people outside my window. I just want to say, I live like in a very old antique neighborhood where a lot of the apartments are like safe. You can't do a lot of things with them. So I have tourists or people just coming by my window, looking in, being like, oh, what a cute old apartment. It's like, it's not that old, okay? So the lip product I'm using, and I actually did like a horrible lip. My upper lip looks like I just got lip injections, and I didn't. I'm using the Soft Matte Lip Cream in color London from NYX, and I love this. Like, these NYX Soft Matte Lippies, I have a million of them, not even kidding. I should almost do a video of all the ones I got, and ones I like, and ones I don't like. So, that was my full face, now completely full-faced, and not just half-faced, or lip-faced, I don't know. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry if it's becoming really long. I tried to shorten it down as much as possible. Instead, I talk a lot. So, as well, if you want eye tutorials, just click on the link that I have added below, hopefully somewhere in this region or down here in my box. Want to click my box? No, that's not too wrong. My mom watches these videos. So I hope you enjoyed. If you want more videos from me, and if you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, because I'm gonna do more makeup videos. And so I've been filming more videos than I usually. I think there's a trash can right outside my window, because it smells. The poo is coming straight towards the window. Or maybe it's the salad I made. It might be the salad. I cooked some bacon. It might be the bacon that's smelling like poo right now. Maybe it was dodgy bacon. I'm going to a grill fest like very soon. I might just have made a salad with dodgy bacon, and I'm gonna serve it anyways.